So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Really good. Everybody could hear me. Hello, dear audience. Yes, I wanted to present me as a painter. When I'm talking about me, so I say always that I'm a painter, photographer, and sculptor. And I have to tell a bit, sorry, so what I basically wanted to do today is just making a dia show, a slideshow. And I have to introduce you into my own history a bit to get in contact with my work. So I grew up in Kassel, the city of the documenta, and there were two very important museums. The Museum of Schloss Wilhelmshöhe, which is one of the most important collection of Flemish art, and then there I had my first really very impressive first situation where I saw a painting. I was so impressed that I decided to be able to make that too. And the other experience was that nearby my school there was the main building, the main building of the documenta, and my first documenta I thought was I think so around 11, in an age of 11 or 12. And I thought the Documenta 6, the first Documenta of Manfred Schneckenburg, and this Documenta had these famous works like the Östermeter of Virgin Maria, the Video Jungle of Nankin Pike, the Honey Pump of Little Boys, the oxidation paintings of Warhol, Klosowski, Anna Obermann, all these works. So I was very impressed. I did not understand what modern art is or was. The third thing of Kassel then, which really impressed me a lot, I grew up in the forests of the Brother Grimms, where the fairy tales are coming from, the Brother Grimm. So to understand my work, you need these three components to understand that what I'm doing. So in the first instance, I'm showing sketches out of my studio, I'm showing photographs, sculptures, paintings, but like I wanted to formulate a kind of entertainment without overbearing, without being too overbearing, too simplistic or too superficial. So my question basically is how I can produce a sophisticated entertainment which got in the first instant an obvious user-friendly surface but a user-unfriendly content. Basically, I have to speak, I'm not able to read from the paper. I prepared some stuff, but I have to talk. So what we are seeing here is latest paintings, earlier paintings, studies out of my studio, and that what I consider as an interesting image. And when I'm talking about images, so I'm talking about the psychology of an image, or but without beliefs, without scorings, or without moralizing anything. So what I wanted to do is a kind of hierarchy-free thinking and hierarchy-free painting, and without any manner of justify anything. So I just use it as an interesting image, and using the spirituality of an image, or however, or the combination, what is happening when two things are getting together or not. And this is then getting an own specific reproduction. So finally, I see my paintings as a cooking class, doing a cooking class, or looking a movie, or something like that. Nothing more than this. So I don't give any specific, was heißt Bedeutung nochmal? I don't think neither about perception. So I wanted to have really, just wanted to produce images or sculptures or paintings which just give you an initiation to think about. So I'm give only the illusion of being a storyteller, but I'm not. So the stories at the end are not existing. The stories are kind of taken from somewhere, putting them together, building up a new story, and faking more or less an idea, which I did not have actually. I'm not talking about concept in my art, I'm talking not about as concept as pop art or surrealism. I'm talking about multiple picture plans and multiple icon hunt and use. I'm talking about, for example, a personage which I always use as kind of, for myself, philosophical intention as the mind-hungry traveler. This is a meaning which is coming from the English philosophy of the 60s. It means the mind-hungry traveler is a person who always is hungry, who always has all possibilities to move, to define again their interests, which travels around, which is, say, economically independent and free of former thoughts and opinions. I'm talking so about a traveler who begins every day with his own discovery.
May I ask a question? All these images are yours?
No. I take them from everywhere, but I wanted that the mix is more or less that you can't identify my paintings or the drawings in between. So I wanted just at the end to make a slideshow. That you just could understand, the principle of work, or to, my main interest at the moment is that we are, for painters it's difficult, really difficult to make a kind of real figurative painting. So, but with this switch I talked about it, between contemporary art, this switch I always had, the struggle I always had in between art of 500 years of history, how to put all together, how to put the contemporary art together with the old art, or with my own, say, romantic ideas of painting. And at the same moment, I need to destroy this idea. I'm doing with every work I'm doing is to destroy my own view on paintings, which of course is not so easy, because as in my age, everybody knows that you are built up beginning at a certain moment, and to leave the old in you and to experiment something new and to get into a new series or a new thinking is quite difficult and will cost a lot of energy. But this is basically my work. So at the end, I'm interested to use images of our time, and so those images get mostly a veil of ignorance, and I intend to repeat them only from my memory, so they are getting abstract and they become such a thing as a fake idea, of an idea. So this is basically what I've done. I show you just images now. So these are, for example, sketches when I'm thinking about texts, contexts, ideas, philosophical, psychological, political questions I have for myself, and how to introduce them into a work. These, for example, were sculptures I did for a movie, which then, a Hollywood movie, I had to do sculptures for a gallery in a Hollywood movie, which then wanted to be filmed up, but at the end they did not took it. So it did not happen. But I like this idea, and at the same time I'm working on other ideas, like how to bring together, for example, kinetics, sculptures, paintings, and everything together, which normally is not possible. So you really have to think about how to find ways how to do it.
What was the name of the movie?
I do not remember. I think so. They never told me, actually. They never told me. They just told me that they won't have kind of sculpture this and that style. And during the work, I discovered it's not possible to serve somewhere else. And they get pissed off with me. So, and now we, for example, we saw like kind of 15 images, and now it's getting together. Here we have an example for a painting which step by step is getting together. And now you could see how things work together, how ideas are coming together. When I'm too quick, please tell me, but I really wanted to make this 40 minutes just a staccato of images at the end. Because I do not know, I never know what to talk about my things. So what you can see here is kind of really modern images. You do not know where they are really from. They have every kind. They could be fantastic. These could be sculptures. This could be pictorial ideas or something like that. And just I put them together. For example, when I'm writing, this is again a studio sketch where I write on top of F. Geh in dich, du alte Sau. I can't translate this. And then as second is coming glaubensfreie Spiritualität, which I consider for me it's meaning-free spirituality, which is really important, I think, so to have a neutral view to the things and how they happen and they how could get together and whatever, which was really important. So this is when I'm in a hotel, so I'm always playing with things there. And and these things are used afterwards as a detail in a graphic or in a painting, or they are becoming real but not in this way. Or I'm doing an exhibition for myself in difference in several hotel rooms. I'm renting like 4 hotel rooms and I build up my sculptures there. As this. I'm also talking about the pollution of pictures and how to treat this pollution you get every day, how to find a substantial selection of them and how to work was heißt denn die Liebigkeit? Wie war das? Randomness, yeah. So how to work with randomness. So there are also existing abstract works in my work, which are not really abstract at the end, but working different media and techniques. But as natural given, it's not about to combine things just by combining them. It's just an formal interest or an artistical interest or something like that. So my studio is basically this. My studio is filled up with images, and my head too. So when I'm getting to paint, when I'm since a couple of years, it's very healthy for me to paint because it really salvages me of the surrounding situation. It's really my kind of going to a wellness center. So making paintings for me actually is my own wellness center. So I'm relaxing there. I talk to my students those days that we are really at an edge of a new time, that artificial images and artificial media are oversweeping us, and how to treat them, how we could find a way to use them at the same time and without being Opfer? Yeah, without being a victim of it, and just using them. So how we could do it. And you see the world is full of gorgeous, great ideas. So I wanted to put this into my works without any kind of without comments. Actually, just using the gorgeousness or the spirituality of or the psychologics of an image. So I also question myself, what is an image? So big canvases in general, as we saw once in the very beginning, are prepared as this, and then I'm just painting them. So I'm not projecting. I just make it like, tell you, as we are in the city of Mozart, I take all these images I have in my brain, and when the time is coming and I have to paint a canvas, I just take it and I begin to paint somehow and end with something else. So this was finally, it's an older work of mine, but I really still like it, which is not normal, because normally the older ones I do not like. It's like I do not like me in movies, I do not like hear my voice in interviews and things like that. So, and normally I do not like my older works, but this work I still love. It's kind of blind date which didn't work. There is a shoot in between and the person falls on the table and there is a gift which is not opened. And I like to play with really stupid items as chains, rainbows, gifts, glasses. So I'm always doing one thing too in my studio. I dimensionalize my paintings. At the very first image, which is even sort of the edition of this year for the SummerAcademy to support these students. So I'm always working with different media, mix them together and make kind of transformation in between the different media. So this is just a sprinkled glass, my working glass with water looking to a painting of mine and photographed through the glasses. Very simple. So here we have one of these really stupid things, the Cuckoo clock. But when you're building up a half, like a sculpture, this way, this is a sculpture of mine. When you are building them up and you just build up a half of it and you mirror it, so then it's coming out in Archimboldo. Very interesting. Yeah, you can see here eyes, you see a mouth, breath, or everybody with feet. So depends of the angle you are looking to the mirror. You have kind of face in it. If you have any questions, you could ask me in between yet. So we are coming just to that part where I'm just showing images.
Which was the painting you were so much fascinated that you wanted to become a painter? Do you remember it? It was
it was a painting by Rembrandt. It was the nicest Saskia when he really was in love, and the nicest one hangs is in Kassel. A really beautiful portrait where you see all the love of the painter and his muse, really kitschy in a kitschy way. So, and it's a beautiful painting, and it really impressed me. And this were the moment when I decided to do it too.
What was the name of the painting?
Saskia. It's the first thing of it. There are many, but the most beautiful. The Duke of Kassel was a very intelligent person. He grew up with the Rothschilds, so it was a kind of eine Zwillingsgeschichte, wie soll man sagen. So the Rothschilds made him rich, and he made the Rothschilds rich. So this is how they became famous. He was the Duke of Kassel, and the Rothschilds were little small money changers in Frankfurt. And like Germany was part in those times with a lot of was heißt Fürstentümer, okay, there were many regional parts with duchesses and duches, and everybody had his own tax system, everybody had his own transport system, so all did not fit together. And this duke was the first one who was interested in how to avoid the difference in between money changes, and this was the fortune of the very first fortune of the family of the Rothschilds, and they fit together, and then they made it bigger, and he, as Kassel is a very empty country, so this was it. So we could stop here.
There's a painter, I don't know that much about the art world, but do you have a sense of who buys your work? Do you know the people actually? Or is it anonymous sales?
Yeah, I could tell you. Once very young, open-minded, successful people on one side. However you define successful, yeah? Your opinion. And they are kind of crazy and enthusiastic. Or really old people with a sense for libertinage and open-minded hearing to the things. So.
And it's spread out, or do you have collectors who have a lot of your work?
I made somebody in the last 5 years, so which is very risky. So I'm beginning anew. So I'm also beginning with new clients, which is an interesting thing. So as you have to produce an icon in the arts at the end, what I'm not doing, and I'm not interested in producing an icon because it would be too boring for myself. I need changes, I need different countries, different meanings, different thoughts, whatever. I don't know if I would, tell the question again, please.
Oh, just if you have a sense of who buys your work, you know, where does it end up?
Normally these are really open-minded people without any precautions or whatever. And they are interested, say, in a kind of humanistic sense of being, yeah? So, rich people, of course. My art is not cheap. Yeah, some crazy people and some completely new ones, and some who knows about art history, which build up a collection as say a kind of humanistic cabinet of wonder, stuff like that. Worldwide.
You have to turn on the light so we can see better.
Ich habe das extra ausgemacht, damit Oh, okay.
What was the difference between an image and a picture?
An image for me is something like a sketch, and a picture is for me something like something determinated and done yet.
And how would you then answer your own question of what's an image or what's a picture? How would you answer your own question of what's a picture or what's an image?
I don't have an answer for it apart of this kind of, no, I'm here to find it out up to my end of life. You know, this is my function in this world. I don't have any other description for that, what I'm doing or what I am. So this is the only thing I could do here. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? I would like to know the size of if the painting sound like small or big and the titles. If they have title and they have
the titles are very important. The titles are very important. So mostly they are a kind of mixture of film titles, but not really. They what I'm doing is that what I intend to describe is doing a fade of an idea because I'm not true. Nobody of us is true. We are a mixture of school education, propaganda, whatever else. So we are not true. So what we actually are is fake, and then I'm faking titles of, for example, a music piece, a pop song, a novel, and a movie. And in each between I mix them up. Yeah. So I suggest that. Even in my storytelling, so this is what I'm saying, that I'm an abstract painter at the end. I just suggest storytelling, but it isn't. It's much more abstract. This is what I mean with multiple picture plans.
And there's small or big or massive?
Every kind of size. Yeah.
And for example, the one with the unopened parcel, how big is this one?
With the
unopened parcel. That you present
The
one where the person holds the head on the gift, the unopened gift.
this one. Yeah, this is a bit size. Now I understand you. Sorry about that. It's mid sizes. I think so. It's like 170 by 150, somewhere around that.
And how much was it?
Oh, this is too indiscreet. I don't tell you this. It has no price. But then 50% for me, and then 50% as taxpayer. At the end for this kind of image engineering I'm doing, it's not very much money.
You need to remember a little bit about your painting technique. So there are different techniques?
Yeah, I'm always using different techniques. It's like you are drawing different cars or using different bank accounts, or it's the same at the end. Yeah, one bank account has blue color with blue color, and one bank account is kind of relievish and green color. Yeah, one account is with book, and very classically, and the other one is digital. So.
Airbrush, you need not talk about that. Airbrush, you need to know?
No, I'm faking that.
You're faking airbrush.
Yeah. So, yeah, please.
Oh. Did you ever present a painting that your gallery refused to show because they weren't open-minded enough, like the customers? As open-minded?
I had really exhibitions which were the abgehängt wurden, or something like this, which were
Removed.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did we see any of those images?
No, it was really the 80s, and it was really stuff, I have to be honest.
But was
If
it
you don't,
pornographic
would-
or?
No, I never,
Okay. It was so ugly.
I told you, if you want, all these images I showed you finally. At the end, I saw it, I even say that often in interviews that at the end we are living in a complete pornographic world, and this is what I'm doing. My paintings are, of course, pornographic. And the cars we are buying are completely pornographic. The capitalism we having is completely pornographic.
Porno.
Yeah. So we have really we really have to ask ourselves what's pornographic. If you're talking about erotics, or if you're talking about sex or sexuality or whatever, I consider everything as pornographic today because we are living in a society which a selfie society which presents themselves the 24 hours permanently per day, using every kind of media to expose us self, and the industry is capturing that and translating into products which are doing the same. And of course, as a painter, it can't be by side of that. I'm not producing, say, a product to meditate or something like that. Yeah,
but with your conversation, so your work is sort of like a product of all your experiences, how you view them, whether they're images or events, and you look at everything as pornographic because of the excess of today.
I like the excess.
Well,
I like the excessful life. I like the excess. I like entertainment. When you're going today to looking at a movie, with all these 3D glasses and we are short before the hologram. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So the movie is doing a very interesting thing. If you are to go to this multiplex cinema, so you are sitting like as you saying you are sitting like a holography inside here. So the sound is surrounding you completely. The visuality does not need more time than the visuality that the image is going around you. So then you are more or less part of the movie. And you are this is really interesting what is happening there for me. And I intend to find a way of painting, because you could make the mistake to see my painting as a very good classical painter. I never seen me as this. I'm just using classical languages or metaphorics of this painting, but the painting itself should be something really else. Should go into other dimensions. And only what I said at the very beginning when I described it like an artist wrote this. So he wrote about me that I'm doing a kind of sophisticated entertainment which got in first instance an obvious user-friendly surface as every product, but an unuser-friendly but a user-unfriendly content. And this is true what I'm doing. You could see, but I don't know if you have seen the new Mad Max or something like that. It's very comparable. So what you are looking in the movies at the end, mostly it's ugly stuff and radical and aggressive stuff. Yeah. But we like it. We want to be entertained. So what I intended. So I always was asking myself, why there isn't any painter who paints, for example, as Tarantino is movie doing. But you can't copy this. You can't not repaint movies after Tarantino. No, you have to think as Tarantino and making your own stories to translate this. And it's only about the sense of it. So I miss painters who are painting movies actually. Everybody's saying, yeah, I'm painting movies, but I don't see painters who are painting movies and who could storytell and who could, in a movie you have a sequence of 1 second has 24 single images. So, or in the new sizes, 36 images per second. So, kann ich ganz kurz das noch zu Ende sagen? So, my question really is why people or why painters do not have this interest to get into this kind of storytelling, but within one-dimensional media. Painting is a one-dimensional media. So how you could open a story and does not let ending it somehow. Yeah.
Tell us more about your user-unfriendly content.
Yeah, this is. Was heißt jetzt mal böse auf Englisch?
Even.
So I'm not interested in paradisic situations. They are boring to me. The imagery that you are going through a nice garden, apples and cooked pigeons are flying everywhere, and you just open them out, and everybody is easy peasy. So this doesn't interest me. So I'm going to the opposite. I'm going to the absurd. I'm going to the abyss. For me, the abyss is more interesting. There's much more to catch out of it. So the human. I'm always was interested in human characteristics. So the human characteristics which are nice, and so they are really nice. Of course, they impress me by their being smart and nice, but completely uninteresting. A person who never was wrong, or a person who never had an accident, or a person, it's uninteresting. Yeah.
I have a question. How do you feel about painting your own paintings? And is that important for you to paint your own paintings?
How I feel them, or
how do you feel about painting your own paintings? You are the person who paint your own
I'm very distant to my painting. I'm just lucky to what that happened. And the only thing I could say is, for the first time, I'm really happy that what I'm doing.
Of doing it.
Yeah, because before I always had a feeling like I'm like with 85, 90% with it, but for the first time I'm kind of 100%ish.
Yeah, but you pay someone to paint for you, like in the different style, for example. Some painters, in the 80s, there were 80s painters who like pay someone to, they would even just change their name, but only just the act of painting. How do you feel about going to studio and just get all dirty and just...
I was thinking about this idea, so I was thinking about this idea to invent my 20 artists, which are all one artist at the end, or much more. When I was young, I really planned to make a documentary, my own as 130 or 140 different artists.
Right.
Yes, I dreamt of that, yeah. And then I made experiments. I reproduced paintings of my way in a very bad way, and I made JPEGs worse than they are, and I sent them to China, just in a completely digital way, and I let them paint, but I wasn't really happy with the result. It was not bad enough or not good enough. It was in between, so I was not really convinced about it. I did that. I sent hundreds of images. And there are little towns which are a complete town with, say, 5,000, 10,000 inhabitants, and everybody's painting. The only profession in this part of the supermarket owners or who are having bars or trying food, the rest is painters, in fact. And they are complete towns. This is really rising. So, and this is like what I like, because it's a kind of hybrid of painting. Yeah. Then we are again with the excess or things like that. So.
Yeah.
And is there something left over from your old styles in your new pictures, and do you still?
Yeah, of course, you can't avoid the former story. You can't make a move of 180%, of 180 degrees. This is not possible. I always say that I consider my always, and I see it with other persons too, which I really know very well, that a part of the age of 4 you are built up, and the only thing what you are doing is to equilibrate and to avoid extremes at the end of life. I think so. But everything is done.
And do you still use a brush in your work or not? The old-fashioned brush?
Yeah. And they are big. I'm using brushes as this. So when you see a painting, we're getting in again. Yeah, something's happening. That's good. It's not following as I want. Let's do it another way. Let's go to this one, because this explicate technique pretty well. So if you see, it's a very simple technique which is coming out from the Renaissance. There were 2 big masters. I told it to my students too. There were 2 big masters who played this play really very, very good. I'm using just 4 colors. They are mixed, and the canvas it's a very raw canvas, and I just prepare the ground of canvas as a camouflage, with these 4 colors, and then I'm just contrasting it or hiding it with white. This is all. It's very simple. And the color, and this makes, so today we are doing painting, you always have to thematize at the same time painting. I'm convinced about that. You can't not only make a painting. So you are so talented, are so fresh, then you could do it, but I don't believe these attributes yet, so they are really rare and more or less not exist. So when you see here that the color is like really put it on with really big brushes. It's a camouflage, and then I'm going with black and white in it. So this is an old technique, and very simple. And I'm not making a sketch. This sketches I'm doing, I showed you before how they are looking, and this is all. There is no projection. I do hand free. I do not know how it's called in English. I do free, simply. And the painting is always a performance tool, because I'm beginning at one point, and then I see, oh, my sketches stand there, and I can't follow the sketches. I have to follow my intuition, and then I follow my intuition, and this is what is coming out there.
And you think it's important not to project, for example?
No, you could use everything. You could use if it's good for you. If it helps you, it's good. But I want for myself. I told a bit about my suffering in between contemporary art and old art, and how to put this together. This was my old boy's dream, to put these things together. And how you do it, it's up to you. If you need helping materials or helping, I wanted to be so honest, to be so honest to myself as possible. So then, when you are doing a painting like this, you have to know about anatomics. But you know, this is important for me. If you wanted to project, you could do what you want. Yeah. But for my knowledge of painting, or of my, say, I can't call it a moral or something like that. My view to painting is that it includes a knowledgement about anatomics. But this, you know, it's up to you. This is a very personal thing. It's not measuring or saying anything at the end. Ja, other questions? Da können wir uns hinterher mal einen Kaffee